You're listening to the July 31st reading of Blossom Goodchild's channeling with the Federation of Light. For a change, let us begin with the introductions, shall we? Welcome to you, Blossom and each one. Many new souls are finding our presence online, as you would say. And many old souls, in all aspects of that, continue to be uplifted by that which we choose to speak of. This gives us great joy, as it is our desire to uplift. For in doing so, we, via you, uplift your planet, which for so very long now has been under lock and key.
A change is as good as a rest, as they say. Hello to you. Would you care to elaborate on under lock and key? Although I think I know what you mean.
Certainly. In order to identify codes of a certain caliber, there had to be a release, an unlocking, in order for a higher vibration to flow through.
Oh, that's not what I thought you meant. Continue forth.
These codes, not all, yet enough for you to notice, have now been released into your vibrational field, in general. This does not mean that they are activated and accessed by all, for some are not ready within their awakening for this to occur. Each one, as you know, Blossom, on their own track in dividing portions of knowledge to be awakened in one's own divine moment, according to one's abilities to recognize self, during this most poignant and, yes, we repeat, uplifting time.
Well, I have to say, codes or no codes, I am definitely feeling a change within myself for the better. Just a lighter me, a more accepting me, and it sure feels good. So, the codes. Do tell.
Blossom, we would say everything is coded.
Everything?
Yes. For each code is of itself a story.
That's a lot of stories. I feel to talk of coding I may get a little lost, yet willing to give it a go. For instance, what codes have just been released, unlocked? What is their story?
They are of an essence of lighter vibrations. They were unable to be released until such time that humanity had reached a certain frequency of light within of themselves, through one's own awakening, one's own personal journey. That time is now, and there is much rejoicing in other realms. For these particular codes are of a patent that allows much within the physical, mental, emotional, and best of all, spiritual change to shift into the next phase of enlightenment. When one feels, acknowledges, accepts, and recognizes this, it brings about a metamorphosis within. One cannot deny the feeling of feeling brighter, more in tune. As one connects with this resonance and gives much gratitude for it, it releases and activates codes to match within you. The codes that are now able to match that which are being sent through.
Knowing very little of codes, are they all mathematical?
We would say yes, in order for you to understand. Yet we would say, too, with respect, that they are beyond that.
Who devised these codes?
The divinity of life. In a way to describe, for it can be complicated, the original codes were put in place and, due to their nature, were then able to continue to create for themselves all codes. The intelligence of the original codes, in as of themselves, set to work to write required sets, which in turn, once at work, created more and more, and more and more, and more and more, and so on.
Okay, yet to try and contain this in order to understand, How do we have these codes within us, and how do they physically find the match that is flowing through?
Firstly, they don't find. They are by nature there from the beginning. They await to be activated.
And that is done how?
By the soul. Not the physical being, yet the inner soul.
Sounds like something in my shoe.
By the inner soul reaching a particular frequency of light.
By being a jolly sort of person?
Indeed, Blossom. Exactly that. As one's light lightens, it changes the frequency to a higher vibrational pull. The pull being the attraction that lights up the code that is ready and waiting for one to experience a higher feeling of themselves. Let us inform you also that codes can never stay still. It is not possible. Everything would stop if they did. They are, would we say, the clockwork mechanism of all things. Yet, unlike your computers and such, they cannot stop or run out of battery. For they are, as life itself, a continuum.
It's interesting, for people talk of particular things being coded, yet you're saying everything is.
Yes, it cannot be otherwise. Without a code, a thing is not a thing.
To make a point, my rug is a thing. Is it coded?
Yes,
Does my rug's coding continually change?
yes,
I shall never look at my rug in the same way again. How does my rug's coding change?
codes, even when not activated, still have to have movement. There is coding within energy, and everything is energy, vibrating on its own individual frequency, as you know.
But why does my rug need to have moving codes?
Because it is energy. It doesn't need to change codes, Blossom. It is that coding, as we said, cannot remain still.
Okay, I am understanding all this a little more. Bear with my questioning. I would imagine a rug doesn't need a matching code, as it hardly needs to uplift its soul and become more enlightened.
Correct. Its coding just is, for its purpose of being made into a rug. We know your desire is to talk about the mantra and the coding within that.
Yes, thank you. For you have said that it is coded, yet I had not really pieced together the fact that everything is. What exactly is it about the codes in the mantra that are particularly special?
Let us first air it. I am the light. I am the love. I am the truth. I am. The coding of the two words, I am, are the highest frequencies one can use to become the I am.
Become? Are we not from it, and therefore already it?
A good question. It is the acknowledgement of the I am within the self, which again activates the codes and connects from within to the I am. That is the I am.
Focus, Blossom. So, if the I am codes are already part of us, why do we need to say the mantra?
Because of the way the codes respond to your vibration.
Aha! That seems to be a poignant point.
It is. Everything that you say, think, respond to, dictates how your codes react and what frequency they connect up to, depending on the feeling of what one says, thinks, responds to, etc. The I am mantra cannot just be a particular code, in as of itself. A, because it is forever changing, and B, because each soul is of the I am, and each soul resonates within its own individualism. Therefore, the level of frequency when saying the I am mantra depends on the frequency of the individual, and how that reacts to its vibrational match.
I am following you, although I'm not sure how. I just don't know where to take it from here. Do you?
Yes, Blossom, we do. Let us try and simplify.
Oh, please do.
As one understands more of who they truly are, their frequency lifts. It cannot remain on the same level as more understanding changes the codes to a higher state of themselves. As the higher codes become activated, one's beingness must also lift. It cannot not. And within those higher codes, the feeling within the soul self changes, activates. And therefore, the coding within the mantra itself moves into a higher form, which in turn activates and changes into a higher form. And repeat and repeat. Keeping in mind when we say higher form, this allows the soul self to be of and reside within that higher form. It boils down to the knowing of who you are. When you know who you are, truly know, the coding within you and the matching frequency that you produce when saying and being the mantra takes you to a place that moves the soul's love, loving of itself and all that is, into a recognition of home.
Not sure how much my brain can take, yet I am unclear what you mean by activating. To me, one would activate something by turning it on at an electrical circuit, sort of thing.
Yes, Blossom, you picked up on the exact word we desired you to use. Circuit. When the coding within you reaches, matches, the coding of higher light, love, it lights up the circuit.
I have the image of a fairground and the game of hitting a dome with a hammer, and depending on one's strength, it can go to the top, which triggers a bell and everything lights up.
Indeed. A wise analysis, Blossom.
One more question before we finish. What if on some days one's vibe isn't feeling its best and did not have the strength for the dome to reach the top and trigger the bell? Because one already had done so before, does that bell remain activated? Or do we have to reactivate it when our frequency drops now and then?
The codes, once activated, remain within that frequency. Remembering there are frequencies within frequencies, within frequencies.
I see. Well, chaps, marvellous conversation. I'm hoping that when I read it back it will make sense. So much love to you for bringing these messages through. They certainly assist me and so many. In gratitude, in loving service, I am. I rarely do a PS, yet some are confused as to whether they need to use the word the in the mantra, i.e. I am the light, etc.
One does not need to do anything if it does not feel in balance for them. We give the word the because it is in balance for us to do so.
Nice quick answer.